dry and we needed rain, and we thank you for that. We pray that you would be with our county, that you would be with our country, and that each and every one would take time to vote and to support our great republic. We pray that you would be with those that are sick in our community. We pray that you would help them, give them strength, and Lord, that you would be with the families that have lost loved ones. We pray that you would be with all of us here, give us wisdom to do the business of the great people of this county. And we ask it all in Jesus' name. And everybody said,
Amen. Thank you, gentlemen.
all right. Welcome to the October 29th, 2020 Board of Scioto County Commissioners meeting. Could we get a motion to approve the minutes of October 22nd?
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
And a matter request for appropriation transfer of funds.
Is there any questions or comments in regards to the fund transfers? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous reports.
Are there any questions or comments in regards to item 3? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter request for appropriation of funds.
Are there any questions or comments in regards to the request for appropriation of funds? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of communication from the sanitary engineer regarding customer reimbursements.
Are there any questions or comments in regards to item 5 today? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of notification from the Ohio Public Defender regarding indigent defense reimbursement for July of 2020.
Any questions or comments in regards to item 6? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting petition requesting to vacate alleys in Hurley's 3rd edition, Rush Township, Scioto County, Ohio, and authorizing the clerk to advertise a public viewing and hearing.
Are there any questions in regards to the request for the public viewing and hearing on the alleyway of Hurley's 3rd edition in Rush Township? I believe that's in McDermott, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the wellness incentive docket in the total amount of $999,022.
Any questions or comments in regards to item 8? How much did you say that was? I was going to say. That's.
My
Did
bad.
you hear that? I didn't know our wellness program
Yes!
went up. Yeah, you. Okay, so for everybody watching.
Okay,
Jen is our wellness coordinator.
$999,000.
How much was that first figure you threw out there?
$999,000.
My bad, there's a bunch of nines.
So our wellness program has went from $9,999, I think is what it's supposed to be.
It's 9,000.
Yes, 22 cents. $999,000?
Be nice.
Just wondering.
I
just
retract.
clarifying
I
today.
retract. $9,999.22.
Does anybody have any questions about
We had
that?
everybody really excited for a moment.
Oh, I bet. Yes, so are there any questions or comments in regards to the $9,999.22 wellness docket request? Okay.
I will make a motion
Hearing
to approve
none.
that.
Sorry.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye, and if anybody's watching and wondering what that is an allotment for our wellness program to, they do a lot of different things. Now with COVID, it should be interesting as to what is able to be done, but my goodness, it's bought equipment for yoga, it's bought, all the different equipment that the ladies, sometimes they'll get together in the lobby and other places and they'll they'll exercise, and it helps fund the wellness program that is so great for our employees here in the county. And anybody can participate in those. They try to get me to do the yoga several times, but
Good work.
but they have equipment and everything, and it's a really neat program, and something that's part of our wellness program to the prevention, trying to keep people healthy. So, anyways, go on.
Okay, I'll try to get the rest of this
There's
right.
going to be a lot of equipment at $999,000.
We could have our own building.
Yeah.
In the matter of approving local government services gap conversion contract between the Scioto County Auditor and Auditor of State's Office regarding 2021.
Are there any questions or comments in regards to the gap conversion contract? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution establishing the Scioto County CARES COVID-19 Chromebook subgrant program regarding the 14th Street Community Center.
Are there any questions or comments in regards to item 10? Hearing none.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of communication from the Scioto County Courthouse Maintenance Supervisor regarding bid recommendation for the courthouse HVAC.
Are there any questions or comments in regards to item 11? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for the various funds, moral obligations, and the then and now certificates in the total amount of $287,196.71.
Questions or comments in regards to the docket item 12? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In a matter of resolution authorizing the Scioto County engineer to enter into and execute documents with Ohio Department of Transportation for grant funding for replacement of Truss Bridge on White Gravel McDaniel Road.
Questions or comments in regards to the bridge replacement project on White Gravel, McDaniel? Hearing none.
Motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting an amended certificate from the Budget Commission.
Any questions or comments in regards to item 14? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of contract agreement between Scioto County Commissioners and the Quality Heating and Air regarding the COVID-19 CARES Act Courthouse HVAC.
On item 15, we're going to have to hold off on this one. With the COVID CARES Act monies, if you've been watching our meetings, you'll notice where we've been doing resolutions on these projects. On this particular one, this is the new HVAC for the courthouse, which will have the UV virus-killing devices built in. It'll be a zoned project. We had received a bid on that the last meeting. We have forwarded that to our maintenance supervisor. The total, and bear with me please while I get through here, the total for that contract is $788,051.27. And that will be with 50% down, 50% at the completion of the project. And that will literally complete replacement of all systems in this courthouse. The old systems that are decades old will be totally retrofitted out, which is a huge, huge move for this building. 93 years old, and here we are at 93, we're going to be having all new heating and air conditioning. But with the speed, getting this done as fast as we have, having just approved or forwarded it to the maintenance manager on Tuesday, that was responded to after reviewing the bid, then getting that in the hands of our assistant prosecutor. I think it was around 1 o'clock yesterday, 1 o'clock-ish. And our prosecutor's office having to prepare a contract, which is not something you just, magically appears. we have to give them a little bit of time to get that contract done. So we don't have a contract to agree to today. So we're going to have to wait on this until we actually have time to receive the contract, review the contract, and then vote on the contract. So we're not going to be able to do item 15 today. I hope that explains to everybody what's going on.
I think probably maybe we should recess because there's going to be a time element to when we can use these funds, and we're not going to have another meeting until Thursday of next week.
Yeah, recessing would probably be the best after this, yes, because we literally have to turn this project by December 31st, and the contractor has to have time to order materials, get the materials in, and literally the speed of what we're moving to get CARES Act funding appropriated and spent is very difficult. I will say this, in talking with our elected representatives in Congress, I did reach out to Representative Winstrip about his office about the deadlines on CARES Act. They are really, really tight. And I know in talking to other individuals at the township level, school level, children's services, job and family services, everybody who's looking at spending CARES Act money, that it's too short of a time. And so there is a letter that is being circulated within the Ways and Means Committee in Washington right now, and they're hoping that they will be able to approve at that committee level extending the CARES Act spending. You know, we had a deadline to get the monies appropriated, number one, by the middle, well, actually the end of this month. Tomorrow. It had to be done by tomorrow. And we literally have just the 2 months to get everything done. The problem is everybody in this country is doing this right now. Contractors are just scrambling to get things on order. Suppliers can't supply fast enough. We ran into this with the Chromebooks. If anybody was watching the other day, we ran into this with the Chromebooks where the one type of Chromebook was not able to be received for 3 to 4 months. Well, that's not going to work within this time frame. Same thing here. We've got to get materials on order. We've got to get the work done before December 31st. But this letter has been circulated. I think it's being recommended to extend the deadline an additional 3 months to the end of March, which will give everybody some room to breathe. But we can't act like that's going to happen. That's not guaranteed. We have a lame duck Congress. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen after the presidential election on November 3rd? You could have Congress recess for the rest of the year. You could have, who knows? Who knows what could happen? So we still have to act under the premise that December 31st is it. So that's what we're doing. So we have to move fast. So yeah, recessing, I know it's a long way to explain it, and hopefully we'll get the extension, but we can't count on that. But with everybody screaming from all 50 states, I have a good feeling that maybe that'll get done, I hope, but we can't count on it. So we'll see.
I'll make a motion to accept item 15 until we get a response from the prosecutor's office.
Accept or just hold on it, or?
Well, we'll put it on hold, I guess.
Okay, all right.
Until we get the response from the prosecutor's office on that.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
second the motion.
Mr. Crabtree.
Aye.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter request from the Scioto County Sheriff's Department regarding appropriation from the general fund.
Item 16 consists of appropriation request in the amount of $9,888.05 for jail operations salaries and $12,500 for road patrol PERS from general fund. I would like to make mention that the letter that was sent to our sheriff asking for information in regards to the increase in salaries that was made to his employees. For justification for those has gone unanswered. Any questions or comments?
Well, no questions at this time.
I personally would like to have an answer back from our sheriff as to justifying $10 increases for employees, and then here we are getting requests for salaries. Typically what happens with our office holders, and we saw this in the appropriation transfer of funds today, where we start seeing a lot of transfers from one fund to another. You start seeing from supplies to salaries, where they didn't spend as much money on supplies, or they'll start moving their monies around to be able to cover and go as long as they can. We're on the very eve of November. This is normal this time of year. But
Well, we can, we're going to be in recess until we get a response from the prosecutor. Maybe you'll get a response from the sheriff. Clarify what you need to know.
I would hope that we would have gotten a response by now. I think a no response is the response. I think we have not gotten communication from our sheriff on many things, but anyways, we'll entertain a motion on how the board would like to handle item 16.
This is salaries. I'll make a motion to approve the salaries at this time and hope that we have an answer before the next request for money appropriations. I would urge him to respond.
He has put our board in a very bad position.
Sorry.
Well, I think the problem is now that I think the PERS portion of that is going to have to be paid. I think that, I'm going to have to concur. I think we probably need to go ahead and approve this amount, and then we will need to look at the overall situation and make a decision what to do in the future here.
Agreed.
The request for 9888, what does that get him through to? The end of the year?
I put it on there what
The current balance
the
is.
current balance.
But does that get through to the end of the
I
year?
won't know because I don't know who he pays out of those because he juggles people around.
So there's no explanation as to whether or not he'll be coming back for more later?
If I was guessing, I would say yes, he will come back for more, but I
I
don't know that
think
for
he
a fact.
will. I think those will help.
Obviously,
That'll
the
get him through
PRS
the
because it's
quarter
on
of the September quarter.
Well, the other thing that's hold on a second. This is just for September,
Yes.
but it's quarterly. Is it
No.
not?
No, PRS is monthly.
That's right. I'm sorry. So,
But the thing is, I don't know who he's paid out of that to know how much the salaries are as to know how much the PRS would be.
this will get him through the end of the year. That's what he's saying.
That would mean he couldn't pay anybody out of that again.
This is for PERS. Talking about the Road Patrol PERS.
Okay.
Current balance is $3,616. Our average monthly payments for June through August were we're $15,935. This is only for 1
Yeah,
month.
that's what I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in the past, in the 4 years I've been here, there's always an appropriation request in a huge amount to cover the last quarter, and I don't expect anything to change. It may be worse than it has been in the past 4 years, but I'm sure this is not going to, I'm sure we're going to have more requests. So with that being said, I urge the sheriff to get us an answer on the questions that we have presented to him, so we can justify this.
Is that
That I've already made the motion to approve the salaries and the PERS.
That's your motion?
My motion is this is salaries for the employees and their PERS, which we have to pay. So I will make the motion at this time to approve this motion. I approve.
Can I do kind of a sidebar here? I'd like to talk to our,
can't.
I can't do that.
No.
All right, well, I think we're gonna have to give him some
We
money.
can
'cause he's gonna
accept
have
the
to pay his
request.
overs. You know, I don't, you know, I think we're gonna have to take care of that. We need to probably look further into this after the meeting and see what we do in the future on this situation. But anyway, I'll second Kathy's amended motion.
Our employees need to be paid. If our sheriff hasn't worked his budget to the point where he can take care of his salaries and PERS, then I feel that we need to take care of them. So at this time, that is why I made
Well
the
said.
motion.
Well said.
Okay, Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Crabtree,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
it's all on the agenda.
Ms. Coleman, do you have anything additional?
I have nothing more at this time.
Mr. Crabtree?
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. There are times that we have to make decisions that are in the needs of the many and outweigh the needs of the one. And unfortunately, we have not gotten good cooperation back, and it's too bad. It really is. But it's very frustrating where it doesn't look like there's going to be a friendly transition in that office. And we look forward to working with the new sheriff. So, enough said. We'll move on. Okay, with nothing else added to the agenda at this time, we will take questions from the press. Ladies and gentlemen of the press.
Nothing on the agenda yet.
Nothing on the agenda. Go right ahead.
Off agenda. From Mark Craycraft.
Scioto County Daily News.
We haven't heard much regarding the animal shelter. Are they now properly staffed? Are the animals being adopted? Can people drop off lost animals that they have found?
Yes. Yes. And it depends. It just depends on that last question. One of the things that they do is they do question people that drop off animals, because we have had, in the past, we have had individuals that were overzealous, picked up animals on the side of the road. They've got tags, they belong to somebody, and they just drop them off. Well, then they gotta find the owner. That happens sometimes. Sometimes they bring animals that they don't need to be bringing to the pound. So there's all kinds of different reasons behind number 3. But the question is, fully staffed, adoptions are going great. Tag sales are going great. My goodness, the numbers we're seeing, things have really, really, really turned around. And that's a sensitive place. You know, a lot of people are very, they care about their animals. They care about their dogs. We've got dogs and cats and everything else, but that's a tough place sometimes to work. But our staff's doing a good job, they're doing their best, and so yeah, without any further clarification on number 3, it's a little hard to answer that one exactly because it's kind of a gray area. But number 1 and 2, absolutely.
From Mark Craycraft again, off the agenda. Many of the COVID measures have caused businesses to fall out of compliance with the ADA laws. ADA is a law and COVID measures are mandates, not laws. How can we address these ADA violations resulting from health department suggestions?
Which ones? I'm not exactly sure which ADA compliance measures are not being met. And that is something that the health department has to deal with. But I'm not exactly sure which ADA compliance measures he's referring to. Hadn't heard any complaints actually until now. This is the first time I've heard it, so we'd be happy to look into it if we knew something more.
Also from Mark Craycraft. It is expected by many in the press that the governor will be announcing some major decisions this afternoon. How has the county prepared and investigated the possibility for additional restraints from the state?
I will tell you that I did receive some correspondence from our health commissioner, basically having us prepare our thoughts as to what we may do, but there have been no recommendations made by the governor. Matter of fact, I think he made it clear yesterday that if a county would go to purple, that they would not dictate what that means for a local jurisdiction. I think what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to put that onus on local government, where they fell under great scrutiny at the state level for doing the shutdowns last time. I think they want to try to push that onto the counties and the cities, municipalities. So when you do that, you force a health department, or in our case, health departments, to possibly implement orders that they can't possibly enforce. They don't have the manpower, nor do they have the police force to do so. So I don't know what the governor's going to say this afternoon. You know, we continue in our, I believe it's a 9-county region, the way it's broke down at the state level now. We continue to see a low number of hospitalizations and ICU visits. I think we're at 37 and 9 now. in 9 counties, we have like 37 people in the hospital, 9 in ICU, and we don't diminish that in any way. Those are very serious situations for each and every one of those individuals and their families. That is out of 415,000 people, just so if you put that into perspective. But it's still a serious situation. COVID is still serious and needs to be taken seriously. So I'm not exactly sure what they've done, what they're going to do beyond a mask mandate that's already in an order that's already in place, what they're going to do. You know, the shutdowns, very concerning. We have been working so much with our economic development team to get the grants in place to help our local businesses that are literally, and if everybody just listened to what they're listening to and what they're hearing from our local businesses, and then just the little bit that we're getting, well, we get it directly too, but through this whole entire application process, reading the narratives that are on those applications, the people that literally have lost tens and tens of thousands of dollars in their businesses that have already went and took small business loans, that have already went and taken personal loans just to stay alive. If you heard these stories, you would understand how precarious the situation is right now. And if they start talking about cutting businesses back or shutting down businesses again, I don't know if our businesses will survive that. I really don't, based upon, and part of that process, we get to see financial reports and everything else. I don't know how they'll survive. There's several businesses like that. So I don't know what they're going to recommend. Great question. Just as it was the first time, we'll roll with it. We're prepared. We have PPE. EMA's ready. The health departments are ready. It's just going to be really interesting as to what they recommend, or if they recommend, and put it back onto the counties. Are there things that we could do to tighten up the ship? Possibly. But we need to be careful of what we do, because we can't put business at risk and continue. And I will say this, we have lost more Scioto Countyans to addiction and suicide and things like that than we have COVID. That is a known fact. And with mental health aspect of what has happened with this pandemic, we should be very, very, very concerned. Just like we did with Children's Services, and in discussing with our Children's Services Director the other day, they sent everybody home. We can never do that again, and he agrees 100%. We still have to have those home visits. We still have to see those children face to face. That was the worst thing the state could have done, and they did it, and it just affected so much. So we have to be very, very, very careful moving forward what we do as a community, and we need to continue to do the important things. Social distancing, wash your hands, people. Don't put yourself in a position where you're in a room with a ton of people, and and wear a mask when you're in a social setting with a lot of people. Do that. But we got to be careful. We have to do this responsibly, and we'll get through it. We'll get through it. Everybody needs to understand we will get through this, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I don't know if you have anything you want to add. It's tough.
No, I just know that we have to address the COVID for what it is. It's a dangerous disease, and everyone must, if there is to be an end to it, we all must respect one another and follow the guidelines and do what each and every one of us has that is what they need to do for not only themselves but for everyone. So hopefully if we continue to do that, this thing will diminish and things can get to, I don't believe it'll ever get back to normal as we knew it, but a form of normalcy.
I think everybody needs to just try to do the best they can to protect themselves and protect the people they care about and their family, and follow whatever guidelines they recommend. Excuse me. And anything else that you think you have to do to keep your family safe and the people that you care about and those around you.
Well said. Well said.
From Justin DeLong, what do you think needs to happen to lower the COVID cases in Scioto County, which continue to rise in significant numbers each week?
I think based upon the fact that we're seeing some congregate infections, but what we're seeing is community spread mostly. And, I still see people not wearing masks. I mean, I get it. I mean, but they're not in large settings. And for the most part, I mean, this thing is spread through air. It can be. And droplets, things like that. And I think if we take more care to do that, look, if I go into Dollar General, I'm wearing a mask. If I go into Lowe's, I'm wearing a mask. I go into Kroger, I'm going to wear a mask. It's just, there's the concentration. We need to do that. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. That is really what I'm seeing. The more I'm reading from the CDC and things like that, people who wore masks still got COVID. That's the thing everybody needs to understand. It's not a fail-safe. It's not 100% fail-safe. Does it help reduce? Yes, but it's not fail-safe. And but washing hands, you know, our health commissioner from day one, he said, wash your hands, because it's the touching of the face. It's the, you know, we have these habits, and we're handsy people, and we like to make expressions with our hands, and we need to do that. And we just, as Mike and Kathy both said, we just got to be careful. And we're starting to see some reduction a little bit. I mean, we're starting to see that. The hospitalizations went down. The ICU visits went down. We're seeing that right now. Statewide, we're not. It's going up. And matter of fact, it's going up everywhere. It's not just the United States. That's one thing I get upset, is that everybody says, oh, it's the United States. No, infections per capita, we are 11th in the world. We are 11th in the world. Europe is going through a whole new bump. They are locking down again. It's not a good thing. And I don't know how much of that is because of winter. There's a lot that's not known about this disease yet, still yet. And this thing is changing every day. But I think we need to care for ourselves and our families, as Mike said. We got to do our best to take care of ourselves and the ones we love. And if we do that, then as a community, we'll see the reductions. But right now, it's community spread, and it's in your home. It's unfortunately, you know, we're just seeing it everywhere, and it's not just in the nursing homes. We're seeing it some there too. But right now, what we're being told by the health experts in this county, that it is community spread. And because of that, we as a community need to do all that we can to reduce the spread. I know of one particular individual that's very, very, very ill, that's on a vent in Columbus right now, or Cincinnati, I'm sorry, in Cincinnati. And, you know, our prayers go out to those individuals. No rhyme or reason, none, as to why some get asymptomatic, why some are serious. No rhyme or reason, it seems like. It just changes from day to day. But at the same time, we gotta be serious about it. And just like we are with any disease, you know, we gotta take those serious. So let's do what we can as a community. Good question.
Okay, also change your mask regularly.
Yes, wash them. If they're cloth, wash them.
Cloth, wash them or change them.
Yep.
My wife's pretty strong about that. Change the mask pretty regular. They get kind of foul after a while.
Mm-hmm. We bought a garment bag, and all the masks, the cloth ones, we put in the garment bag and wash them. And then we have fresh ones for the kids, mainly because the kids going to school, they have to have a fresh one every day. So we do that, and then that's another thing we can do.
From Daryl Buck Music,
Mm-hmm.
has there been any discussion on appropriating more money for the health department to add staff to help during COVID?
They are getting all the money they need. Literally, the part of the CARES Act money, we have, right now, I think they are somewhere approaching $250,000 already. They're working overtime. They have full reign as far as their staff and what they need. The health department is a separate entity from county government as far as we don't control county government, or county health department. They have a board. The board runs that department. Mike Martin is the Scioto County Health Commissioner. He is the top dog there, okay? And he controls that. Their department, I know they're in here all hours of the night. They're working weekends. They're doing their tracing. Their staff. We actually had this conversation early on. You know, CARES Act money is available, staff as you will, and they're handling that. They totally do all that on their own. A good example would be where they are autonomous, where they did the order for the courthouse being closed after 7/31. That was an order from the Scioto County Health Department, and that was one that we could not have any bearing on whatsoever. So they are making those decisions, and they're doing what they can, and they're fully staffed and they're fully funded. Okay, just a couple things, if you don't mind. Can I throw some things out here on the agenda that didn't get asked about, but I think they're wonderful, great stories. In regards to the 14th Street Community Center and the Chromebooks, we had a visit there the other day, and they have a wonderful program over there called the Catcher's Mitt program. And as everybody knows, a lot of the kids are going on staggered times to school, 2 days a week, or they're whatever it might be. Some schools are going 5 days a week, but some are staggered. And because of that, there's a lot of kids that use the center at 14th Street that may not be getting the individual attention they need on those off days. So what they've done is they've developed a program, and they have tutors that come in. Maxine Malone, Jeanette Langford, they're doing this work. And while we was there, Miss Langford brought up the topic that they don't have enough Chromebooks to help their kids. The tutors need them to help and be able to compare, and work together with the kids. And the kids don't necessarily have them. Some do, as where some of them go to Portsmouth, and some of them have, but some don't. So they mentioned needing Chromebooks while we were there with Congressman Winstrup. And we talked about a lot of things while we was there, but this was one of the things that came up, because they are literally helping these kids do where sometimes parents are not filling that gap properly, or they can't. They're filling that gap. They're doing that work for them, and the kids are getting that individual instruction. So we came back, and we talked about this, and I reached out to the prosecutor to see if this was something we could do for the center, and they came back and said absolutely, as long as it's for distance learning, or they are actually doing the teaching of the kids there, because of COVID and the implications of what's happened there. So this will pay for 20 new Chromebooks for the center that they'll be able to use for this program, and subsequently from here on out. So this is a really big win for their educational program. This is just one of the programs they do up there for young people, and it's really neat, and we're really glad to be part of that. That might have been the only thing, actually.
Looking over and seeing our economic director here with us today, was there an update on one of those small business grant appropriations?
How many grants have you awarded?
On the yearly cap, I think you mentioned there was a...
7 have been approved. Well, actually, more than 7 been turned in for payment, and 4 others were approved Monday.
Right. So it's 11.
Yeah, we've given out over 50 applications, so I don't know if there's going to be a surge today and tomorrow or not with the date. I'm encouraging them still, because we don't know if it's going to be extended or not. I'm still filling them out so that if it is, we're ready.
So anyone listening, if you are a business, or if you know someone with a small business, there are criteria, 1 to 40 employees. I think we went up to 5 million on revenue, 6 million, I'm sorry, on revenue. There are different level grants, but that's the criteria right now. If you lost money because of COVID, if you were shut down, if you had to spend a lot of money to get your business into shape to open back up, whatever it was, you had to pay employees out of your own pocket. You had to take whatever it was to stay alive during this time. 11 companies have already been awarded grants. A couple was one of those was $25,000, I believe it was.
Yes.
One was $25,000. The rest are 10. So $125,000 has already been appropriated by the committee to help these businesses. That's cash. That is to help you get yourself squared away, at least help do that to help save your business. So if you know someone who needs this, if you are that person, get with our economic development team on Court Street. Court Street. Sorry about that. 5th and Court. They're in the building there. And if you need the number, call our office. We'll get you that number. But please take advantage of it. It's not hard to qualify. You just got to you got to jump through unfortunately, you got to jump through the hoops, fill out the application. But we'll get you a reply as soon as possible to help out our small businesses. Small businesses make up 70% of the employment in the United States. That is a huge number, and in this area, it makes up a very large percentage of our businesses, our jobs. So please, we're doing everything we can.
And ODSA also
Yes.
has added a program. We sent it out yesterday to quite a few people, and everybody and their brother has sent it out. And they've set aside another tremendous chunk of money. Their application starts November the 2nd. You can contact us also for that information. You have to go to the ODSA website to do that. We can get them that information. I've given it to Lisa Carver with the chamber. You can contact
right.
her. She'll give you the information. She's already posted it also. But all 88 counties in the entire state of Ohio, there's enough money set aside, and they've guaranteed all 88 counties each will get 50 grants of $10,000 for 50 businesses. That needs to be applied for, and their applications start November 2nd. So I'm assuming they're also thinking this COVID money is going to get extended.
Well, I think so, but also the state of Ohio, what board is it that appropriates the money? It was they were waiting on the appropriation board, whatever that's called, I forget what it's called, to appropriate the money to allow them to even do anything. The counties and the cities like Portsmouth, New Boston Village, we've been all over this, and the state just got that done, so this is their version of what we were already doing.
The counties that, the counties that are doing what we're doing, right. Yeah, exactly.
It is.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a good program, and I think they see that, so the state's taking it another step further. And they see, as you're saying, Brian, they're really seeing today, and like you said, I wished you could be in there when we talk to these people, but they're seeing the distress. It's real. I mean, it's real, and I can't thank you guys enough for helping us push this through. I really can't.
I think the long-term dividends will be huge. We're gonna save we're doing our best to save every small business, and I believe we're gonna save several. But that feeds into exactly what we were talking again about, and the question that was asked about, what's coming down the pipeline here.
Yeah.
We've got to keep our small businesses open. That's all there is to it. It's too many jobs. And people, small business owners all across this community have invested their lives in their businesses. We have to keep them alive. We have to get through this pandemic, because what are we going to do? What if they all disappear? Because this pandemic will end, but what are we going to be left with? And we need these essential services, and we need these jobs, and we need these individuals to have a chance.
Right.
They know their business. They know their business. They know what they're doing, but they literally got their legs taken out from underneath them on this thing,
Right.
and we've got to help them. We've got to help them. So that's what we're doing.
I'm gonna reiterate it again. I know I've been in business myself, and when you're down, it's a lot of people, it's embarrassing. Some people even feel ashamed. I mean, it's funny how it works with people's feelings, and it's no fault of theirs, but they still feel that way. So they're reluctant to reach out. Do not be reluctant. Please come. Nobody's going to laugh at you. We're here to help.
Right.
We're here to encourage. Please, please reach out. Please.
And it is a
please
very
come.
discreet process. Those documents are kept with our economic development team. Very discreet, very private, and it stays there.
Yep.
It stays there. And I can tell you that if you show the loss, you're going to get that grant.
Yep.
You're going to get it. So I appreciate all your work. I know you guys, it's
It's been crazy.
it's hands-on, but we've had 50 applications go out.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
reprinted another whole bunch.
Right.
yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, so get those back in fast. Deadline,
Well, we had it at October 31st. I've got a circle on it. I'm still sending them out. Do not, I've even had one call yesterday, man, I can't get it back to you by then. I said, still fill it out. You get it on my table. If this extends, you're already in line. So I'm sending them out. I'll fill out applications all through next week.
okay.
There's a tremendous amount of money still available to disperse, so
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
your application picked up
Yeah.
and returned.
Yeah, the amounts that were approved through our office was 750,000.
Yes, it's there.
The city, did I hear that they extended theirs last night? Did they extend CARES Act last night?
I think they did. I know they were working on some stuff. I talked with Tracy. I didn't get the
Okay, well, they had a meeting last night, and I saw a headline, and maybe the press knows this because they cover their meetings, but I'm thinking that there might have been an extension. I don't know, but they had done 200,000 to begin with.
Yes.
New Boston had done 75,000. So all said, local government has available to small businesses over $1 million right now to
Correct.
assist in grants. These are
Correct.
grants, not loans.
That's correct.
Okay, so please, I implore you, we don't want to hear the story 3 months from now, my business went out, I was short, and I just couldn't make my mortgage payment. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Please come and see us. We don't want to hear those stories down the line. Now, on the ODSA, that application process, I believe, is on the Scioto County Economic Development Facebook page. Is that
Yes.
right, Mark?
Yes.
So if you have questions on that, go on the Scioto County Economic Development Facebook page, and there is a link there. Call their office with any questions,
Right.
please.
Our media, too, that's listening in, could get that out through
Yes,
there.
please, media. If you have any questions, please get with our economic development team for details, so you get that out there. We just don't want anybody to fall through the cracks here. Okay? Anything else, Brian?
We have a question from Patrick Keck.
Okay? Portsmouth Daily Times.
Columbus expanded its outdoor eating program through November. As mentioned in past meetings, the commissioners have heard many sad stories from small businesses. Are you hoping restaurants will look into continuing such services, and are grants through the CARES Act sufficient to allow them to do so during the colder months to come?
Could you read the first line again, first sentence? I missed the first sentence.
Columbus expanded its outdoor eating program through November.
Heating?
Eating.
Eating. Oh, God, sorry. We just discussed most of that, I think. Yes, from what we can tell right now, we've put out quite a bit of CARES Act money, and with the state following up with ODSA, it seems, based upon the traffic you're seeing, that we got it covered. The other thing you have to also think about is that they are coordinating. You're working with Portsmouth. You're talking to make sure that people are applying and getting covered. So I know you're actually even soliciting. You're actually working on calling people, knocking on doors to try to help people. Yeah. So I mean, it's a great question. It seems that way, Patrick. We just don't know more than what we know right now, but we're definitely making every effort to help them. Is that it? Okay. Motion to adjourn? Or
Motion to
Recess.
recess.
Sorry.
Motion to recess.
I'll second.
Mr. Crabtree,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye. Thank you, everyone. Go and vote. Go and vote. The courthouse is open until 7 o'clock tonight, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. They have Saturday and Sunday hours. Go and vote.